Dungeon Refined, Part 1. Finally, I'm here, I said, staring into the wide, gaping mouth of Jackson Cave. The entrance alone was massive, easily the size of 3 guild halls set side by side, and somehow I was about to walk straight into it. Yeah, this is the place, I muttered, a greedy smile creeping across my face. With them crystals that got the insane price tags. Tonight, I'm sleeping like a king. I stepped inside, boots echoing against the damp stone floor as I entered what used to be the adventurers' living quarters. Empty now, not a soul in sight. The air was thick, dark, dim, and damp enough to cling to my skin. Man, these lighting artifacts are shot, I said. Flicking one with my finger, it sparked weakly before fading again. We seriously need modern replacements in here. I made my way over to a worn workbench and set my gear down. All right, how did they say this thing works again? I pulled out my adventurer card, turning it over in my hand. Press the gem and say the command, right? I tapped it lightly. Open stats. The card vibrated, and a shimmering screen burst into view in front of me. Name, Tom W. Rexx, male class, warrior level, 3, strength, 5 dexterity, 4, agility, 3 vitality, 6, luck, 9. Nice. Real nice, I said, grinning. Not bad for level 3. I leaned back, crossing my arms as I admired the screen. Look at me now, Mom. Your hard-working boy's making it. Tom W. Rexx is about to put his name on the map. The screen faded, and I reached for my gear. Let's see. Attack pickaxe, work pickaxe, armor's holding up for now. I smirked, that same greedy look creeping back. But after I grab a few of those gems, yeah, definitely time for an upgrade. I rolled my shoulders and turned toward the darkness deeper in the cave. All right, I said under my breath. Let's go get rich. Dungeon Refined, Part 2. I packed up my gear from the workbench and headed toward the doorway that led deeper into the mines. Man, this place is filthy, I muttered, stepping over piles of discarded weapons. Old swords, chipped daggers, most of them dull, broken, and barely visible in the weak glow of the flickering light artifacts. Adventurers really need to learn how to clean up after themselves. I kicked a rusted blade out of my path and made my way to the old wooden door at the end of the hall. Gripping the handle, thankfully with gloves, I gave it a pull. It didn't budge. Seriously? I groaned. When's the dungeon crew going to fix these rusted hinges? I yanked harder. With a loud crack, the door burst open. Beyond it, a narrow stairway descended into darkness. I stepped down carefully, gripping the railing as water slicked the uneven steps. These things are a death trap, I said, my voice echoing down the shaft. The crunch of loose stones followed each step as I made my way deeper. It didn't take long before a faint glow began to bleed into the darkness below. There we go. A grin spread across my face. I tightened my grip on my work pickaxe and stepped into a cavern lined with glowing crystals. Blue, turquoise, veins of monolite pulsing softly through the walls. Now we're talking. I approached a large crystal, raised my pickaxe, and swung. Crack! The crystal shattered into glittering shards. I crouched down, quickly stuffing the pieces into my bag, their edges sharp and gleaming. Easy money, I said under my breath. Then a soft pink glow flickered at the edge of my vision. I froze. What the heck is that? Slowly I stood and turned. Deeper in the cavern, a single crystal pulsed with a radiant pink light. Far brighter, far richer than anything else around it. My breath caught. That's gotta be worth a king's ransom, I whispered. 2 years, maybe more. The thought made my chest tighten, my pulse quicken. I stepped closer, unable to look away. The glow reflected in my eyes, pulling me in, closer, closer. I reached out, my fingers trembling as they neared the surface. The moment my fingertip touched the crystal, light, blinding, overwhelming light swallowed everything. My body shimmered, energy surging through me in a way I had never felt before. And then, nothing but white. Dungeon Refined, Part 2. My vision stayed white for what felt like minutes. I could still feel my body, my hands, my breath, but everything else was gone. Am I being teleported or something? I muttered. My grip tightened instinctively around my work pickaxe. Right. Gear. I quickly stowed the work pickaxe and patted myself down. Attack pickaxe. Still there. Good. I pulled it free, just in case. All right. Whatever this is, I'm ready. A few seconds later, the white began to fade. Stone walls came into focus. Cold, damp, tight. This isn't the same cave. I stood in what I could only describe as a cobblestone dungeon. At the same time, my guild card started vibrating hard in my pocket. Yeah, I hear you, I said, pulling it out. Open stats. The familiar shimmering screen appeared. Location: Jackson Tunnel Dungeon Floor 4. Floor 4? My stomach dropped. The monsters here are supposed to be level 5. I clenched my jaw, irritation flaring. So that crystal was a trap. Great. Instead of getting rich, I'm fighting for my life. I stepped off the platform I'd been dropped on and scanned the room. One exit. Figures. I moved forward, attack pickaxe ready. Just past the doorway, a wet, squelching sound echoed from the next chamber. I froze. Please, don't be something horrible. I leaned just enough to peek inside. A massive, wobbling blob of translucent goo pulsed in the center of the room. Oh, crap. A giant slime. How do you even kill that thing? I pulled out my guild card again. Scan. A circular pulse of mana light expanded outward, washing over the creature. Name: Giant Slime Level. 4 Strength, 2 Intelligence, 1 Agility, 1 Vitality, 6 Luck, 0 Weakness. Core located within body. Destroy core to defeat. All right, I said, cracking my neck. I got this. I sprinted forward. Yeah! I spun into my signature 360-degree whirling slam, bringing the pickaxe crashing down into the slime. Splat! Gelatinous mass exploded outward, but the core wasn't destroyed. Dang it! As the slime reformed, a glowing orb became visible at its center. There you are! I rushed in again, skipping the spin this time. One clean overhead strike. Crack! The core shattered. The slime collapsed instantly. Giant slime defeated. Plus 70 EXP. Yes, I pumped my fist. Easy. I wiped slime off my face with a grimace. Okay, less easy. I pushed forward into the next corridor. Another chamber opened up ahead, and this one had company. 2 skeletons. One gripped a jagged dagger. The other had metal boxing gloves. You've got to be kidding me. I pulled out my guild card. Scan. The pulse went out and fizzled. A message replaced the stat screen. Free trial expired. Please return to the guild hall to renew your scan skills subscription. You cannot be serious. I stared at the card in disbelief. I have to pay to not die? I slowly lowered the card. All right, fine. We do this the old-fashioned way. I crept forward. The dagger skeleton noticed me first. Too late for stealth. Hey, ah! I charged and launched into my spinning slam. Crack! Clatter! Bones shattered in all directions. Dagger skeleton defeated. Plus 70 EXP. Yeah, stay down, I muttered, breathing hard. Then, clank, clank. I looked up. The boxer skeleton was already moving, bouncing on its toes like it was in a ring. Oh, you're one of those? It lunged. A straight punch came fast. I barely got my pickaxe up in time to block. Thud. A second hit slammed into my ribs from the side. Air exploded out of my lungs as I was sent rolling across the floor. Okay, yeah, that hurts. I scrambled back to my feet just as it closed in again. Let's try this. I spun into another 360-degree slam, but the skeleton parried it. Clang! Before I could recover, wham! Another body shot. I hit the ground again, gasping. Crap! I can't take many more of those. I forced myself up, switching tactics. No more big swings. I stepped in, feinting left, then right, testing its reactions. The skeleton dodged cleanly, almost effortlessly, too fast. It pressed forward, and then its foot caught on the scattered bones of its fallen ally. Clack! It slipped, hit the ground. Oh, that's unlucky. I didn't hesitate. I rushed in and brought my pickaxe down hard on its knee. Crack! The joint shattered. The skeleton collapsed further, movement crippled. So much for fancy footwork, huh? I jumped back, then lunged forward with everything I had. 360 degrees, whirling slam! Crash! The skeleton shattered completely. Skeleton pugilist defeated, plus 180 EXP, level up. I dropped to one knee, breathing hard as energy surged through my body. That's what I'm talking about. The stat screen appeared again. +2 to all stats, +2 free points. All right, I said, grinning. 1 into strength, 1 into luck. I felt it immediately. Stronger, sharper. Open stats. Name, Tom W. Rex class, warrior level, 4 strength, 7 dexterity, 6 agility, 5 vitality, 8. Luck, 11. Yeah, I said, smirking, despite the pain in my ribs. Now we're getting somewhere.